a Master of Science and later a PhD at the university. And 22 years later, in 1994, I started a chemistry company, and it was called Vitas. So it's been a journey. I'm still traveling, and today I'm on this stage presenting my company and the services to you. So we have been in operation for 25 years now. Our company is a spin-off from the medical faculty at the University of Oslo. I like to say that we are 46 workers in this company, where currently 18 are humans and 28 are robots or machines. So we are located in Oslo Innovation Center, this building, and currently we occupy the whole floor, the upper whole floor in the western part of this building, about 750 square meters. So this is how it looks inside the building, in our offices and in one of the labs. So we have a number of quite well-known customers. Some of them are listed here. One of the largest, and of course the most important one, is
Zinzino!
Zinzino, of course. And that's you guys, yeah? Okay, so I will now switch to talk about the methods that we use to analyze all the samples that you send us. So the classical way to collect a blood sample is to stick a big needle into your arm and draw 5 to 10 milliliters into multiple vials. So when you spin this vial down, you will have a lower red part and an upper yellow part. This yellow part is called blood plasma, and this is what your doctor usually would use for analysis. Zinzino, on the other hand, uses a totally different type of sample. In this case, there is no big needles, just a tiny drop of blood collected from your fingertip on a paper, dried, sent by regular mail to our lab for analysis. So you will notify that this sample is red, not yellow, and the reason that it's red is because it contains red blood cells. And red blood cells, they are red because they contain iron, and these cells, they transport oxygen from your lungs to the different organs of your body, including your brain. So these are really, really important cells. And actually these cells, they make up more than 25% of all the cells in your body, which is a lot. And these cells, they are produced, born in the core of your bones, in what we call the bone marrow. And when they are born, actually there are more than 2 million new blood cells born every second. And when they are born, they are loaded with fatty acids, the very same fatty acids that you've been eating that day. And the cool thing is that they actually keep these fatty acids their entire life, which is about 120 days. So when you do a fatty acid analysis from this yellow blood plasma, you will have a picture of what kind of lipids, fatty acids, you've been eating the last 7 days. While if you use a sample type containing these red blood cells, you will have a kind of a history of what kind of lipids, fatty acids you've been eating on average the last 120 days. So this is the reason why dry blood spot is a well-suited sample type for this type of analysis, and also the reason why we take the second sample after 120 days. So these are some pictures of samples that you have sent us. So in the green bracket, you can see samples with plenty of blood, very well suited for analysis. In the red brackets, you will see samples with less blood, sometimes no blood at all. Of course, it's not easy to do the analysis if you don't have any blood. So please send us some blood, yeah? But actually, we don't need a lot of blood. So these are different samples, and you can see the blue bars are the results for DHA, one of the most important omega-3 fatty acids. And you can see the results are pretty similar, except for the card with no blood. No blood, no result, yeah? But also, the reason that we don't see anything is because the paper itself doesn't contain any omega-3 fatty acids. Because if you look at a different fatty acid, the C16, a saturated fatty acid, much more common, you will find it in any type of lipid, you will see on the paper with no blood, we actually have higher results than with blood. So why is this? Well, this is because I have touched the inside of the circles with my finger before we did the analysis. And on my fingers, I have lipids containing these fatty acids. So never touch the paper when you do the sampling. and wash your hands in warm water, soap, and rinse well. And on the day of sampling, never use hand cream or lotion because this is really lipids and it will heavily contaminate your sample. So I try to summarize the most important things to do when you collect a perfect blood sample. So wash your hands, dry your hands, then clean your finger with the alcohol swab, but make sure that the alcohol evaporates before you continue. So there is no need to wipe away the first drop. So don't touch the paper, and you should use a large falling or hanging drop of blood from your finger. Dry the sample 10 minutes before you put it into the sleeve or close the lid. Then put it into the aluminum bag. Empty the air in the bag, close it, and don't remove the drying medium inside. If you can, ship it the same day. If not, store it in the fridge till the next day and ship it then. So, how do we actually secure that we have the right quality, that we get the same result over and over again? Well, for this we use something called quality control samples. So these are dry blood spot samples collected from or prepared from a large pool of blood. So we prepare hundreds, sometimes thousands of these. We dry them, we put them in the freezer, and every day we do the analysis. This is Zinzino samples. We have some of these QC samples in front and behind of your samples. So since these are identical samples, they should produce very similar results, right? So before we upload your data online, so you can get your reports, we always secure that these QC samples give the result that we expect them to do. So you send us a lot of samples. You know, we get hundreds, sometimes 1,000 envelopes every day. And we like to refer to these as love letters from the Zinzino crowd, you, yeah? And as the MC said, currently there have been sent more than 260,000 samples. And this is a lot, and it's increasing every day. So that's good work. So, to prepare for this ever-increasing number of samples, there will be some changes to the kit, right? So, on the right, we have the current kit and the current DBS paper with these two paper flaps. In the middle, there is a picture of the new kit. And there is three major changes. One is that the drying medium is more effective, so you can put your sample directly into the new sleeve after 10 minutes of drying. And then continue the drying inside the aluminum envelope. And then there is the lancet. This is slightly changed and will ensure proper bleeding to fill the new DBS card. So this card has two circles and both should be filled completely before you send it off. So this new kit requires a slightly different way of sampling blood. So I will show a video on how to do this. So you should put the paper on the table, and then you should prick the lower side of your middle finger facing towards the paper. And after punching the finger, you should squeeze the finger slightly, producing a large drop hanging from your finger. Be patient, and be patient, and be patient, and the drop will be so large that it will fall off your finger and fill the circle. So if you don't fill the circle with the first drop, just add a second drop, and then continue to the next circle. And after 10 minutes of drying, you can put it into this new paper sleeve and into the aluminum envelope for further drying. So these cards, they are compatible with robotic systems that we use in our lab. These are my employees, right? These machines, they automate the sample preparation, increasing the capacity, and they produce small vials like this. You can see the paper in the bottom of the vial with tried blood on them. So we add liquids, we heat, we shake, we do the chemistry, and these vials are then loaded onto the final analysis machines that you can see running here. So this is how it happens in the lab, and in a few seconds you will be able to see a film, a brand new film that showcases our company, Vitas, the new test kits, and the process going on in the lab. But I hope that I, during these 10 minutes, have convinced you that in Oslo, we are ready for the 1 million samples that I believe that we will be able to reach in the near future together. Right?
Yes!
Thank you, Zinzino, and enjoy the film.
The best test in the world.
It is very accurate, and there's no doubt. We all need to find out and get in a balance.
And tonight, all we tested people are gonna have a huge party.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. You
We
ready for
are
a